What's going on, guys? It's John here from Hot Take Hockey to give you this segment of hockey trade proposals, good or bad. If they're good, I'll give some context to it. If they're really that bad, I'm going to roast them for it. So these trade proposals don't come from me. They come from either the internet or our comments from our viewers and fans. So first up, Patrick Laine Silly Hat comments Puljujarvi for Ho-Sang. Quick analysis, I think you could give some context to this. Both guys need a new team to go to, a new scenario where they can see that they fit. Ho-Sang has not looked good with the Isles. He's gotten a bad rep, a bad image. He's not got along with the GM, with the coaches. Obviously Barry Trotz is there, but Ho-Sang hasn't even gotten a new look. And Puljujarvi has struggled with Edmonton. Ho-Sang maybe going to Edmonton, getting a fresh new start, getting reunited with Connor McDavid and Puljujarvi. Obviously Edmonton would have more incentive to keep him and give him more time. He is younger than Ho-Sang and really hasn't done that much wrong. But at the end of the day, if we're talking about new scenarios, maybe this could be the right fit. Next up, Sam Bennett to Pittsburgh for Daniel Sprong and a pick. Honestly, not that bad either, but I think Sam Bennett is coming along with Calgary. This last couple of weeks, he has looked a lot better. But in terms of what Pittsburgh has done in the past, you saw it with Justin Schultz, with Edmonton. You bring in a struggling player, you bring it into the system with Pittsburgh, and it's a lot in what the top team in the NFL does, the Patriots. You bring in a player that's struggling to this team, and you know what? Daniel Sprong in a second-round pick might intrigue Calgary enough to listen. Next up, this one is ridiculous. Lawson Crouse and a pick for Mark Stone. Are you kidding me? When I looked at this, I was like, I have to include it, but I hope this guy is joking. And the fact that he's from Ottawa and he's a Senators fan, most likely, Mark Stone, and all you want back is Lawson Crouse. Lawson Crouse was a decent prospect, and he still has potential, but you're talking about Mark Stone. I don't need to say a lot more. Next up, Mete and Sherbak for Puljujarvi. Pool Party. Ice Beach says, I want Pool Party to play with Kotkaniemi and Lehkonen. This one's not too horrible, but it really depends on what Montreal sees with Mete, and it depends what Edmonton sees with Mete. I feel like Mete is the deciding factor in this deal. Sherbak, Montreal really doesn't know what to do with him, and Puljujarvi, as I said, has really struggled with Edmonton so far, but is only 20 years old. Another trade, Mike Smith to Calgary for Magnus Puljujarvi. Are you out of your mind? This person is from Calgary and wants to trade away Mike Smith. The only context I can give behind this is the fact that some people are insinuating that now David Rittich can take the reins in Calgary and be the starter for this team. But at the end of the day, Magnus Puljujarvi? No thank you. I think Calgary laughs big time. Next up, LA, Jake Muzzin to St. Louis for Klim Kostin, Jay Bouwmeester, and a second-round pick. Klim Kostin was a pretty good prospect, still is for St. Louis. This guy was projected at one point to go top 20 in this draft class. I think St. Louis would definitely consider this. The only thing is, they would look more if they did this trade. Instead of giving up Bouwmeester, to keep him, maybe play him on the bottom pairing, give some veteran leadership still on this team, as well as just get LA, if LA is still struggling, to just retain some cap. But at the end of the day, I don't see a huge need for St. Louis to get another defenseman. I think their obviously primary need is in goaltending, to someone to help out Jake Allen, but that's just my opinion. Another one, Tampa Bay trading Killorn and a third for Nikita Sherbak. This one is pretty laughable for me because Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the league right now, and Killorn, as much as you can look at guys like Stamkos Kucherov, Braden Point, Victor Hedman, Vasilevsky, as all the guys that have been the best contributors, Killorn has filled in on that second and third line and has really contributed still as his team as one of those grinders, one of those power forwards that still can put up numbers. And I've seen Killorn, especially as the Leafs last year a couple times, I've seen him as a momentum changer. So for a guy that really hasn't found his place in Montreal, I don't think Tampa Bay is going to take a flyer. And just because they signed Yanni Gourde, that's not until next year. Toronto trading Nylander, Columbus trading Panarin, and Colorado trading Barrie in a first-round pick. So Barrie in the first to Toronto, Panarin to Colorado, and then, of course, Columbus gets Nylander. So this is a three-way deal. It's really interesting. Obviously, it doesn't happen often at all, especially in the salary cap era. It hasn't. So, you know what I told this guy in the comments? It really isn't that bad in terms of value. I think at the end of the day, a lot of people have sought out or expressed, like fans specifically, that they would like to see Barrie in a Leaf jersey. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, we have players already like Barrie. You have your Riley, Gardner. You have a guy that's developing like Travis Dermott. Really, you need a guy that's going to solidify that top four and be a solid defender. As much as Riley has improved, Dermott's getting there. Gardner really hasn't done anything really stupid so far this year. But at the end of the day, you want a guy that can be beside Riley and Riley to depend on. You want, I'm just throwing names out there, but not what you're going to get. You would want a Dougie Hamilton or a Jacob Trouba, Tyler Myers, Ryan Suter. I'm not saying Minnesota will trade Ryan Suter. I'm just giving you what kind of players Toronto would be looking for ideally. Those type of solid defensemen that can still play the game today's NHL, but a solid defenseman that can support Riley and give a little bit of the weight on the back end so Riley can continue his streak right now of points and produce for this Leafs team on the back end. And in terms of Columbus, I think actually right now, in terms of what's going on from sources in the league, stuff like that, I honestly think Bobrovsky is more on the brink of leaving Columbus over Panarin right now. I do really think Columbus is going to try to, as hard as they can, to re-sign Panarin, but really, the way it sounds, I think Bobrovsky is having more troubles than Panarin with Columbus right now. And then with Nylander, Toronto, you guys have heard me talk enough about Nylander with Toronto. So that's it for my video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at a few of these proposals. We'll be doing the same thing next week. But if you want these videos to get better, you need to comment in the comments a trade proposal. It doesn't matter if you think it's good or bad. I don't want you to troll, but at the end of the day, get your proposals out there and try to actually be serious, because then you can see what I think about them. So definitely, if you're watching this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. Like the video and comment, guys. That's how the next video will be good. So thank you so much for watching. This is John from Hot Take Hockey. Peace out.